Yeah, online. Perfect. Let me bring up the chat. Okay, let me see. Okay, so it even recognizes it if there's no breakpoint. Yes, I am. Okay, so that works, but when I remove the line break, it's not available. Okay, so let's try to fix that first. What do we need for that? We need the action ID, I think. We can get that, I think, from here. Yes, I did. Okay, so now if I, okay. So this action is toggle line break action, but what's the action if I remove it? Ooh, remove breakpoint gutter icon action, okay. So let's take this. Yeah, I will. So breakpoint is better. Edit breakpoint. Remove all breakpoints, debuggers. So there you go. Show breakpoints over. So this one. So I should be able to paste that in here and say remove debugger breakpoint from, I don't know. Is it the same? Okay, let's check. So if I take that here, no, that's not it. We can close that down. We take that here and I say, how is it? I think it was something like Control Shift F8. No. 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 That's so. Okay. With mouse click. Okay. Now we can rerun that. Okay, so if we... No, I did not. Ah, it's really weird. The small models don't really grasp the context, and I'm not sure why. I always wondered how this sounds when it's not this cranky old guy's voice. So, okay, yeah, we got this here. Let's actually duplicate that one and then go here. And now we need to know what voices exist. And I think we can do that by, if you give me one small second, can probably figure it out. So this thing runs here, somewhere here, and it's wasn't there info? I don't know. How was it called? I think it was called info. Okay, so this is the stream, localhost here. Config, not info. Okay. So let's say localhost 3000 and then config. So these are all the voices we can use. Okay, let's just copy that one message here and use it. So we got Carter, Breeze, Clarion. Oh, that sounds really like radio. Okay. Clarissa. I don't know. Nothing sounds really amazing. Does it? I'm not even sure if you can hear that. Let me check. Wait, let's take Frank. Come on, Frank. Yeah, you should hear that. Go again. Okay, Frank, you sound far too friendly for what I'm about to do. Oh, that's also great. It sounds a bit annoyed, right? A bit bored. So Grace is not too bad. Gravatar. Hmm. Hmm. The Mac Corsair voice is also brilliant. That's the one we're using. Hmm. Excuse me. Well, let's take something friendly. Silkbox Man. Okay, let's use Silkbox Man. Is it uppercase? No. Okay. Let's go. Got it again. Oh, we did. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, so we got that. But I was about to have this description here. The thing is, why don't I see that action? Okay, so I think we need to debug that. So we got an action listener here somewhere. And I believe, so we got this line. I think we want to go inside here. So was it F8? Let's go inside there. And probably we want to go inside. Oh no, we get the action ID here. Okay, so let's put a breakpoint here. Go back, not to this. I never know. I can do that like this, okay. And then, okay, so the action ID is 0 or null in that case. Okay, so what else we got in there? Maybe action ID. What? So the action ID is null. Why is that? What's this then? So what is action? We got toString template text. Remove breakpoint. Alrighty, so that doesn't make it easier. What do we get from the event? Okay, it's an action. Place. Okay, so that doesn't make sense because it's from the action event itself. So my place, my presentation. What is presentation? It's all this stuff here. Flags, description. Remove a breakpoint. Okay. I want to stop here because it really doesn't matter. It was just a test. What I wanted to try is, okay, so what happens if we take information from the IDE and run it through an LLM and make some funny text out of that, and then just let it say the things, and that seems to work. And what we could use that for, since we already have it, is we could include a chat-like thing, and then have text to speech and the chat directly in the IDE. Okay, so for that, I think I first need to do, okay, so one thing I need to do is I need another streaming window. I need to go into this here. And I want to know if I can toggle view. Okay. Chrome, hide address bar. I don't want to go in full screen. Use an extension. Ah, Christ. Go to the hamburger menu. Yeah, I am. More tools. And then create shortcut. Doesn't exist for me. Name window, customize Chrome. Nope, can't do it. Okay, so then you have to trust me. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we go here. Where is it? I don't know. Oh. And then we say, give us open code. Okay, that doesn't work, obviously. View status, I don't know. Switch theme, no. Okay, then this needs to be big enough. What's view status? Okay. Can't get it bigger. So, what we want to do is we want to debug the the chat window that I can't show because there's a token. I can make it small enough so that the token is not shown. Oh, that's good. So we want to debug that chat window here. So which is the restream chat, and hopefully all chats from all platforms arrive here. You can try that out. Let me say something like hello. There you go. So, and it consists of an icon and a name, an icon for the platform, a name, who said something, and then the message, of course. And we can get this out of the HTML. And I think, but I'm not sure because I'm not a web developer. So I think what I need to do is take this page and load it internally in the plugin in a web browser. I'm not sure if it needs to be. I'm really not sure because I'm out of my depth completely here. No clue about web development. But we'll find out. So, but the first thing we want to do is we want to ask what MCP servers do you have access to? Question mark. Never end in a preposition. Okay. Multi-tool. Web fetch, interaction, skills. Okay. Oh, here are the browser Chrome DevTools. Okay. Not sure if we can do it in plan mode. Use the Chrome DevTools MCP and open a new browser window. You can debug. Okay, so it can't do it. Yeah, okay. Do that again, but in build mode. Perfect. I'm never sure why it opens two of them. Just close one down. Okay, so let me move that over. Copy that in. Make it smaller. So here you go, same thing. And now we should be able to ask it how this thing works. Yeah, how exactly we're going to do that. Let me grab some ice. I'm back in 1 second. Okay. So we got that. So what we want to do is we want to ask basically the agent to inspect the thing. And then probably I can open it inside the plugin, but I'm not going to show this web page. I'm just extracting all the data, and that's what I want the LLM to find out, because it's all CSS and diffs inside diffs and inside diffs, and it's really tedious to go into that and find it out yourself. And I don't know a better way, honestly. So what I'm going to do is I will send another message. Yes, here. Hello again. Okay, then let me go to YouTube and do the same so that we get some messages, because so hello again. Ooh, hi. What are you doing? So there it is from YouTube. Let me go to Twitch and do the same. And I just want to have the variety to of platforms, because I want to fetch basically the icons here as well. Let me see my channel. Okay, I need to turn off sound. Hi from Twitch. There you go. Okay, so that should be good. Now, what do we want from you? I opened my restream chat window in the sandbox browser. This chat only displays messages. It's not able to send iMessages. Your task is to inspect in detail how this message window is structured. The goal is to use, and I'm not sure because, okay, so the goal is to have a detailed spec that shows how to extract chat messages, sender names, platform icons like platform origins, and icons like YouTube, Twitch, whatever, X. Further down the line, I want to read this web page in a IntelliJ plugin in the background and display messages not on the web page but inside the IDE. You will write the detailed spec of how to read these information from the Restream chat window. Chat window using Kotlin. To the file docs chat spec.md. The detailed spec of how to read these information from the Restream chat window. Okay, I hope it's clear. Let's see. Can do that. Severin, hi. You're interrupting my chat debug session. So I need to check the network for mapping platform IDs. Okay, the user mentioned YouTube, Twitch, and I'm guessing the one might be Twitch and 5 could be related to X. So I don't know. Yeah, it's the usual stuff, right? So it's really hard to turn on the stream and work on something that you can show on stream. It's that easy. What are you up to? Yeah. Wow. Oh, Christ. So I'm lucky that I don't have a medical appointment except dentist. I was at the dentist actually a few times. Nothing serious, but it's annoying anyway. So, and dentist is one of the things that I really, really hate. I'm not sure why, right? I managed to cut myself in the foot with a chainsaw, and right, and that wasn't. And so I mean, I'm already old, right, and not getting younger. So, do you get used to having that many medical appointments, or right? Because at some point I will be so old that I have to go to the doctor every day, and then I don't know, like the old people. So do you get used to having these many I don't know, these many appointments? I think you mentioned that already, that you're on the transplant list last time. I'm pretty sure. Oh Christ. So what's up with your heart? No, not really. Okay, so then I misremember. But I knew that you had problems with the kidney, I think, right? Because you were going to, however this is called, when you're on a machine. I don't know the English word. When you go on a machine and it cleans your blood. I think you mentioned that you. Oh no. Okay. So you're not getting used to it. Oh damn. That's shit. Man, what am I going to do if I'm old? I don't want to sit in the waiting room and talk about all my illnesses and stuff. So you're going to dialysis. Okay, so yeah, that was the word I was looking for. And just out of the blue, without any I don't know, stress or without any strain or something. So you just collapsed right away. And did they find the underlying thing, or can this happen again? Do you know what's wrong? And Christ. Let me move you over here. Because then I can make it a bit bigger. That is crazy. And it basically, so you got a defibrillator, defib. I think it's called defib only. I don't know. I heard it only as defib. Yeah. Ah, you know, um, years ago, I was working with heart surgeons, and their specialty was, let me try to remember. Oh, Christ. So basically, it was bad, but it was not long enough that you got brain injury. That's what I read from it, right? And it also sounds that I think when you code, right, and you do it multiple times and it's really, really bad, then your heart muscle goes to shit. I think that also happens. Um, can I ask how old you are roughly? You don't need to give me the exact thing. I'm roughly 25. More, right? More on the older end, more on the end of 45, but basically 25. Oh, Christ. You know, you're only 4 years older than me. It's 4 years. I'm really sorry. So, and okay, so I don't even know really what to say, right? Because it's really hard to imagine that when you have so many issues, that basically you have to organize your life around the medical stuff. That really sucks. I'm fully with you. So I guess you can't do any sports, right? Even can you go for a walk or for a long walk or something, or is even that out of the possibilities? You can exercise, okay? Yeah, I know. Okay, so yeah, I understand that. Oh man, all right. Every time we meet here, you come back with even more horror stories. I mean, you don't need to run. Yeah, right. Walking is perfectly fine. So actually, Actually, my wife wanted to do a 5K. So we have this thing. I'm not sure if um, I'm not sure if this is a thing in the US, but we have this thing called Firmenlauf, which means basically your companies are sponsoring their employees to run. Yeah, you don't need to fix your spelling mistakes. I can read it perfectly. I didn't even see it. Numbers juggling is good. So you mean really juggling, right? Or what is numbers juggling? Wait, you tell me what numbers juggling is, and I continue what I wanted to say. So right, my wife wanted to do this company run things where all the companies can sponsor their employees, and it's a big event. And basically, you have a lot of companies running against each other, and there's a 5K. So we're talking about kilometers here, not miles. 5K, and I think you can also run 10K or more. I don't know, right? And we're training for that, and we're actually on a good streak right now. I think in the last 2 weeks we ran 1, 2, maybe 3 times a week. So make it 6 rounds, right? And then we do other sports. So I usually have volleyball and soccer practice, and my wife goes to however this is called, cardio stuff. Yeah. So, and we're actually quite good. So, and if I just think about that, I wouldn't be able to do that anymore. And I had to. That's weird, right? I don't want to really think about it. So, numbers juggling. Numbers juggling is juggling a significant number of objects, okay, where the point is trying to juggle a lot of objects rather than focus on flashy free ball tricks. Okay. So the problem with that is I can only do 3 balls, maybe 4 balls for a few seconds. And so you juggle a significant number of objects. So that means it doesn't need to be balls, right? It can be something different. Ah, 5. Yeah, all right. It's incredible. So 4 is really um 4 is really hard because you can't throw basically across, right? You have to, at least the normal pattern is to do basically both hands, and I always get out of the rhythm of the 2 hands because my left hand just throws not hard enough, and then right you have this arrhythmic pattern that creeps in. And I think 5 might be theoretically easier, but it's really, really hard to get the speed right. So, but if you want, so wait, where's my OBS? Here's my OBS. And if you watch closely, and I have shortcuts now, I think. Wait, where are they? Oh no, that wasn't it. We got that shortcut here. If you watch closely, what I have here is the following. This is my parents being very, I don't know, having a lot of faith in my juggling abilities. But I haven't practiced in for so long. Right. But they look nice, and I think they're also glowing a bit in the dark, or at least under UV light. Not sure. So, and wait, I don't see. There you go. So you're saying 5. So I absolutely believe you because I have no clue, right? I tried it. I just thought because 5 balls, the usual normal 5 balls across is very similar to the 3 balls, and you can hopefully practice a lot of 3 balls. throwing with that. Maybe doing 5 balls is easier than 4 balls, where also the pattern is different, right? So let me see. So I'm not warmed up, right? And I'm not going to stand up. Wait, like this. I think one thing that I always liked was that a girl showed that to me when we were juggling. Was something like that. That took me a long time, and then you can do overthrows and cross thingies and stuff. But um I never did, basically. I never practiced this to a larger extent. I just used it for getting into the headspace and just think about nothing. That really helps. I think so I learned it in university. My game theory professor or teacher was really good. So I think he could juggle 8 balls. And there is this notation, and I'm not sure anymore how this is called. So you can basically write the pattern you're juggling down in numbers, where I'm not completely mistaken, you write down how long each ball is in the air. Is it called cycles? No, it's not called cycles. Anyway, and he gave a Christmas presentation. And so if you're studying chemistry, Christmas lectures are awesome because there's always sugar with alcohol involved, a lot of burning, a lot of bangs, a lot of loud stuff. In computer science, it was always boring, but my teacher made it really, really awesome by basically showing the juggling tricks, writing down and doing a bit of math on this stuff. And it was almost as good as the chemistry stuff, I have to say. Side swap notation. Yeah, I want to see a video of you juggling. Let me see. Copy link address. And then let's go find this here. I hope I can show it. Oh, you're crazy. Yeah, Mills Mass, I always liked it because, and I think I can do it with 3 balls, right? It's possible with 3 balls because Mills Mass sounds so familiar. And I think when I saw it, the first time, it really stunned me because it looks so chaotic and still, really complex. And it's not that hard at all. So wait. Let me see. 3 balls, Mills Mass. Let me turn off that here. Do I have to watch the whole advertisement? I can only imagine. So let's see. So you start normally. Oh yeah, and then you give one thing under. Okay, hi, hi Josh. So I'm sorry, we drifted away from LLMs and TTS in a plugin. We drifted into juggling. We will be right back on track in a second. Okay. Let me try that. Wait, I need visual confirmation. Where's my OBS? Here. I know, I need to go under. Ah, yeah, that was it. Crazy. I probably haven't done that in 10 or 15 years. I don't know. Tits? No, TTS. Text to speech. What? I didn't wrote. Did I write something inappropriate in my title? No, I don't. Wait. Let me check. Where is it? Channels, plugins, local LLM, and okay. So no, I wrote TTS. Yes, I'm multicasting on YouTube and on X, formerly known as Twitter. Okay, I can wait. I can move the. Yeah. I'm sorry. Wait. Let me. Okay. Yeah. And if you write here, Yosh can't see it. That's unfortunate. So wait, if you give me 1 second, I can put the stream here. I just need to hide the token a bit because I think the token is sensitive. So here. So, and it's from, it's reverse, right? From top to bottom, that's new one. So at the company, I'm responsible for plugin, for basically plugins. So so Josh, did you hear about, I don't know, about but you see it on stream. I know, yes, of course you don't see it because I have my face here. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. It's really hard to I have two screens still. I have the chat here. So first let me bring the chat on properly on screen so that everyone can see it. So let's do it like this first here and say plus we want a browser. Restream chat. Okay, then we say here like this with, I don't know, let's just make okay. And there you go. Okay, so you should see at least one message. Yeah. I will fix that in 1 second. Wait. Christ, I didn't even plan that someone's showing up here. I just wanted to fiddle around, and I thought, okay, let's turn on stream. So chat settings. We will have. Oh wait. Settings here. Yeah. It's good. Wait. I will fix it. I'm also happy that that you showed up. Right? It's really nice because I know. I mean, we probably talked for, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, And each year, maybe once or sometimes more. So chat settings, here you go. So background opacity, I should be able to do it like 50%, like this. Okay, then let's go back here, go to the restream chat and say refresh. So is that better? Is that big enough? And right. So, okay. So where's Josh? Is it Josh or is it Yosh? Okay, so Josh. So I'm working for the company that creates these IDEs. So if you did something in Python, for instance, I'm sure you have at least heard of PyCharm, which is an IDE, right? If you did something in Java or in Kotlin, you probably have heard of IntelliJ IDEA. If you did web development, you probably have heard of WebStorm. I think for C and C++, we have C-Line, which is not, at least not comparably so famous, right? Rust, we have Rust Rover, and so on and so forth, right? So, and I'm working in the team that takes care of the core platform, the core code that basically drives the platform, but I'm not programming. Yeah, we will fix it in 1 second. Yeah, okay. So, and specifically what we have in the IDEs or in the core platform is the ability to write plugins, right? So everything you see here, for instance, if you go to the database tool window, it's a plugin, right? So we have AI stuff that is a plugin, and many things are just plugins, right? Or you see here the key promoter X that tells me that I shouldn't click around and use keys, right? This is a plugin. And so I'm working for the advocacy team that promotes plugins and that shows people how to do stuff and how to basically implement things that can run in the IDE. And what we wanted to do today, before we switch to juggling, I wanted to have a chat, basically text to speech inside the IDE. And the reason why I wanted to have that is because I was playing around with a thing where I can do something in the IDE and an LLM basically talks shit about me while doing it. So let's see if that works. So if okay, so I'm sorry, I still have now nothing works. Okay, so please don't die everything. No, it doesn't. But I can't move the window. Okay, let's stop it. Run it again. Yes. I know. That's why the key promoter is very annoying. And you can go here and say snooze, and then it shuts up. Okay. So if I click here, for instance, right, nothing will happen. But if I place the key point, so or if I double a line, So this is actually pretty pretty nice because it contains three things I wanted to try out. So the first thing is everything runs local. So what happens is if I do anything here, I get basically the action that I did, right? So if I double a line, there is an action that is actually called, right, in the IDE. Everything you do in the IDE is basically action. It's not entirely true, but roughly, right? So if I run this code, right, it's a run action. I can run it. And I think I still have a cache issue here. Because I don't know why it's still complaining about the duplication. Right? So, and basically, the plugin that I wrote catches all actions that happen in the IDE. And I have this long file that I extracted automatically, of course, that tells me, okay, what each action is doing, right? So if we have something like this here, I don't know, switch file-based index storage or do show files modification info and so on and so forth. And then I have this prompt for an LLM. And it tells basically, okay, so you are an angry mother, you're sarcastic, annoyed, playful commentary on a developer's IntelliJ IDE activity. So you have to say exactly one short comment or one short few words spoken sentence. So only that thing is the output, right? You get the last actions. These are the things that happened that I do, right? Like clicking somewhere, duplicating a line, editing stuff. And then, okay, so you need to be ironic, darkly sarcastic, critical, and funny. Insults only, but never use profanity or hateful, threatening, sexual, violent, discriminatory, or cruel language, and so on and so forth, right? So, and this is basically what I feed in to the LLM. It sees the last actions, and it also sees what it told me before. And then the LLM returns this one sentence. And this one sentence is then fed into a model that does the text-to-speech conversion. That's what I actually do. And the nice thing is here that everything runs local on my machine. So I can show you probably the, okay, so where do we go here? No. No. Okay, let's take that one here. So this one is running on the local host. Maybe this here, yeah, exactly. So this is the TTS service that is called, right? And you can basically tell it what voice to use and so on, but it's a local website. So the model is running on my GPU. And it's the same for the LLM. I used Ollama and it's also running on my GPU. So nothing is sent out, nothing is sent into the wild. Everything is local here. And then you can just select your voices and whatever. Okay, so that's actually what I was doing. Okay, so this font is really, really small. If I increase it here, okay, so how do I do that? Let me go back to settings. Chat settings. Compact mode. Message size. So first, let's take default rounded. Okay, looks good. Can increase the size here. Let's do it like that. Okay, and then I think I need to go to OBS and tell it. Okay, so wait. Restream chat. Properties. Let's make width maybe 400. Height 600. Okay. So is that better? And I think I can refresh current page. Ooh. Okay. So this is pretty big, is it? Let's go with 100%. Let's see. So that's okay. The only problem is, right, if I have an overlay like this, no one sees the IDE. Yeah. So, but that's what we wanted to fix now. So I wanted to use this fun little plugin here to basically read this chat and then display it directly in the IDE. And we could also have text to speech, which would be awesome because then I don't have to monitor chat. Okay, so where were we? So we should have now a specification, chat spec. Okay, that tells us exactly what we need to know. So this document specifies how to read messages from the Restream embed chat window at and expose them inside IntelliJ plugin. It doesn't matter. So yeah, let's keep me distracted. So so wait, let me scroll down. Oh, I can't scroll down here. I can't. Can I? Okay, I need to go into the thing here. Here I can. So how was this called? The notation. I'm happy, happy, happy. Here's Josh. Yeah, that's okay. That's a yo-yo. I need to reread all the so side swap notation. So it's all good. Yeah, let's have both a hard time focusing. It's anyways, right? It's something I want to try out, and if it's nice, then I can make a small video about it and demo it and show along the way how it's done in the IDE. So all good. So about the side swap notation, I think I had planned back when I was at university, roughly 2.5 million years ago, I had planned to implement a small simulator that basically you give in the side swap notation and it shows you, it simulates the trick, right? I never did it, but it was I think it was one of the possibilities I could do for a semester project. I did something else. I think I implemented another game, but that was one thing. And I never revisited this topic. That would be good for streaming. And if it's not too hard, right? Maybe you can concentrate on it. So I wouldn't know from the top of my head where to start, because I'm not really sure anymore how the side swap notation actually works. So I think I can do that here. Side swap notation. Side swap. Exactly. So yeah, you know it much better than I do. I got the basics from what I remembered. So, okay, so 1, 3. Okay, so I was right that the numbers denote how long a ball is in the air for how many rhythms or whatever, right? By the way, I never could do the 1. Never. I'm not sure why, but it's impossible for me. Quantum juggling, or Cambridge notation, is a numeric juggling notation used to describe or represent juggling patterns. So, and is it, okay, so is side swap unique? So if you have a more complex pattern, is it always possible to just juggle it in one way? If we forget about that we could start with the left or the right hand. Okay. So the free ball shower is much harder than the free ball cascade. So, and okay, so that's, but this, all right, but there's, okay, so okay, so right, so the free ball cascade is free because you just have, I need to see if my video is showing. I don't, I switch back when someone else joins the chat and wants to talk. So the free ball cascade is basically 1 with that here, 2, 3, and then I throw the first ball again, and then we have this this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And and each ball basically needs 3. I don't know how this is called. Takte. What is Takte? Tact? No. Timing? No. Bar. Okay, so what I wanted to say is bar, like in music, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, okay, so wait. Yes, it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so for example, I need to go back. Yeah, for example, that 4 balls Mills mass video is me juggling the side swap 4 with 4 balls Mills mass hands. So you can do any hand pattern. Okay, right. So because I could throw a ball, let's say outside, from the outside inwards, and it would be the same, if it's possible, if I throw it inside. So that would be the same side swap, but just juggled differently. Yeah, beats. Beats, exactly. I want to use the word bar. Sounds more like bar. Cheers. Unfortunately, it's only Coke. Okay, so I think I'm I'm just joking around, right? Don't take me seriously. Of course you're right. Come on. Okay, so I think there was one of the things that I thought were pretty complicated back when I thought about the simulator some 2.5 million years ago. That basically it's not unique. And what are you doing if you have a free, for instance, and you can throw the free like inwards or outwards, right? Because you can also do it like this, not sitting. I'm not standing up. I have a glaring light there and a stupid cable here. Yeah, so you can throw it outwards or inwards, and it's the same. It's the same side swap. And I think that was back when I was a student. That was too complicated for me to think about how to resolve that. The position of each hand, but but the position of the hands is not. It's not a quantized state, right? I can have my hand here. So how do you do that? So the hands move naturally. Yeah, that was another thing I was thinking about, because I think in the same area of university, we were at least I was thinking about a planet system simulator, and there you have gravity, right? Also gravity between the planets, but it's basically the same as if you have gravity that just goes downwards. So and then basically if so the ball is in free fall all the time here. And I think one of the other complications that I was thinking about back then was, okay, so how do I calculate a movement down here that looks natural and results in the exact force that I need to make the ball fly the right direction and go down. So basically I have this, right? Because I know how high it's supposed to go and I know where it's supposed to land. But then to make this movement that it looks like a real hand, I think that was too much for me back then. So if you restrict the hand movement to natural cascade, it's pretty easy to calculate parabola timings. Parabola. Yeah. I think back then I was making, I don't know, I was maybe making things harder, right? Because I wanted to get it right. I wanted to understand to get it right before I started, and that's probably was the wrong way. So I never started properly, because I think my thinking back then was that, okay, I have the hand here. I can make a bit larger movement, right? Or a smaller one, and you have exactly one beat. Your time needs to be one beat between you catch the ball and you throw the ball. Is that right? Yes, I think back then I had this image in my mind. So I have the real nice juggling simulator that can. And is it always like that you have one beat? Is it never that you have, I don't know. So that's a 2, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. See the difference between my left and my right hand? I never practiced that. Since you're here, right? Wait, you are here. That's good. Because although I didn't stream very often, I upgraded a lot of my stuff here. Need to show you that. So first, my OBS now has these nice shortcuts, so I can basically turn it off, right? And have it here and switch my thing. But I also got a whole new view. And this is my bench back there. Let me turn on the light really quick. So, and if I ever do something with hardware and it's worth showing, I got basically my bench on camera, and I also got my oscilloscope on camera. I needed to switch it on, and it's pretty noisy. I won't do it right now, but basically I created, I'm not even sure how you would say it if you didn't write the code, but you instructed an LLM to write it. So the oscilloscope is basically providing a small web server, and you can visit this website, and on this website you have the whole screen and all the details, what the oscilloscope is showing and all the settings. And like we did right now, I used an MCP server for debugging basically this website, so that I could create my own program that captures the stream, because it's only an image stream. It's right, captures the image stream and shows it inside a browser window here that has the perfect size. So I can just show it on OBS. The same, by the way, goes with my microscope. Wait, let's see. If we don't crash it, I think I can show that. Vibe coding. So, okay, so this is the difference. I did not vibe code it, right? Vibe coding is, I want this thing, go ahead and do it. I knew exactly what I wanted to have, and I just let someone else do it. So I knew that I had to debug the web page to find exactly how this streaming works. The rest was pretty easy. And I can show you the other thing I did. One sec. So, so the other thing I did is mscope, mviewer. Yeah, so build dev source, I think. I hope it doesn't break down. No, it's not. Okay, it's black. It's supposed to be black. I will show you in 1 second. There you go. Okay, let's make it like this so that the, oh wait, we can't do it like that. You will see enough. So let me turn on the microscope. Okay, so we need to fix that. So it wouldn't be possible to do that all wipe code, right? Because so okay, so and here we have so white balance. Oh no, that was the wrong window. That one, white balance. Let's put that here. And then we can say one push. And then we have exposure should maybe here. And I need to drastically reduce the, because it's so big. And there's nothing white under there. Okay, doesn't look too spectacular, but it's okay. Yeah, that's the part that was broken, right? Because that's a power supply for an LED strip, and it broke down, and I had to replace it, and that's the resistor that burned out, and now it's all shiny and stuff. Yeah. So and I had basically vibe coded that that thing as well, but it was really great because so first also I had to debug the complete USB protocol. And then I found out that I didn't need to do that because there's an official SDK for the camera here that I hadn't found before. And And now basically the problem was that the images that are coming from the camera are really, really big, right? So the largest resolution is like this, and it's sending the images in full resolution just over the network. It's pretty slow, but it looks good. Yeah. So, and then I used basically a profiler to profile all this stuff, found the hotspots, and vibe coded the fixes. And it's really great. And then we have this menu here, right? That was also really nice. So it's a library that I'm using here for all this stuff. And basically I said, okay, so we have these and these settings, just throw together a UI, and it didn't look too well organized. And then I said, okay, so can you export this this UI as an SVG image, and tag basically all the buttons and all the labels inside the SVG with metadata. I fixed the positioning, and then you fixed the UI. I really had fun with that. It was great. It worked from the start, right? It exported the original UI into an SVG, and then I fixed all the button spacing and stuff, and then it implemented it, because this is all custom stuff, right? And then I wanted to have white balance, so I can just draw somewhere here and say, okay, it will now destroy the image, I'm pretty sure. No, it doesn't. Or I want to have exposure. I think we need to turn down, otherwise it takes too long. So if we put exposure here, I know I have turned it off, right? See, and I can put it here, or put it here, or put it here. Yep. Pretty dope. And these are all the small things that that you can do if you just got the time at night. Exactly. So I did these things to show them on stream, right? And never used them until now. I showed you. So I hope that officially counts as I did use it on stream. So, and what I got with this program is, so it's AM Viewer, and it starts basically this UI, but it also has a web mode, right? And if I do that, and it's not working correctly, because I need to figure out how I can basically, and now I get only this, I can move that over. But if I switch to my workbench, so let's do that here, here. Okay, we're here, and I should be able, where's my microscope? It's there. So there you go. See, and I have it on stream. And I plan to have basically such a move of the image that I can increase it. And I got that from a friend who also streams stuff like that. So, and I also have my oscilloscope, but you can't only see a black frame right now. Bam. No, I'm not near the airport, and it's really okay. So what I can tell you is my chair makes noises like this. So you're telling me you have ambient bird noises on in another tab? Well, okay. So who was here before? So that was okay. Someone wanted to sell me viewers. I couldn't even handle more than one viewer. Aways. Okay. Hey, Aways. I'm sorry for not responding. We had so much fun with juggling and stuff. I'm sorry. But great that you checked in. Okay. So let's continue here. Yes, you are. And I don't care, honestly. It will make me definitely stream more often. Right? So I have another friend. So I'm not saying I'm cheating on you, right? But I had another streaming friend. His name was C Developer. I haven't seen him for a long time. And when he when he visited, it was also always very nice, and you could talk with him about different crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not like it's not what it looks like. Um, good. Okay, so this is basically what I wanted to find out. So, did you see what I did earlier? Right. So we have this stream window, this stream chat window here, right, where all our stream things is. And and I only have this one, so it's the only thing I can I get from Restream. So I can use that and include it in my stream by simply adding a browser source, a so-called browser source in OBS, and then you see the thing that is up here in the corner. I'm not sure if you can. My mouse seems to be under it. Okay. So, but what I wanted to do is investigate how this web page is structured, get basically who said something, from which platform, and what did they say. And then I could show them in the IDE. I wouldn't have to have a chat window here. I could just have another side panel, and I could use my my text to speech stuff from the weekend, and not just say stupid things, but make it actually say something that has been said in chat. And that would be great, because I wouldn't even have to read any chat. I could just listen. Okay, so right. And for that, I wanted to investigate. I'm constantly losing my train of thought for some reason. So, okay, so and then we have this web page here. And I'm not sure. Yeah. So I'm not sure if you know how much you know about agents and vibe coding and model context stuff, MCPs. But basically what you can do is the following, right? So let me bring that window up. So let's hide everything here. Don't need that. So usually these, so did you use any agent, any so-called text user interfaces? I could also use it here, but I prefer for the moment to use it right here. Did you use? Not much, okay. Okay, so then let's make it, let's just bring your LLM knowledge up to speed, because that would be a goal, a good one. Okay. Clear. So what I got installed is Ollama, which is, I'm not even sure what it is. Basically, Ollama is a system that allows you to download and use local LLM models. It also allows you to use cloud models, but I'm looking for the local ones, right? So let's see. Nothing is started yet. I think this doesn't work. Oh, it does. And I should be able to say, Ollama, run, I think. And then we use a very, very small model, a 2 billion model. It's really dumb, but we don't care. So, okay, we got a prompt, and I can make that bigger. Profile, I think big talk, writing. No, big talk. Yeah, like this. Okay. Okay, so backpropagation is not a thing because that already happened. The model is fully trained. You only have the weights. And basically what happens is, with the LLMs, I type something like, okay, like, hello, Severin, right? The first step it does, it tokenizes it, which is usually words, often not words, but word parts, so simple tokens. These tokens get embedded, which means nothing more than you take the token and you build just a vector of numbers out of it. So the token is placed in a very high dimensional space. Okay, and in that space, all the tokens have a certain meaning. Okay, so then you have basically a list of these embeddings or a list of these vectors, right? And you throw them through an LLM, and the LLM just predicts the next word, nothing more. Okay, so if I say hello Severin here, it takes basically the tokens in my input message, shoves it through the network, and predicts exactly one next token, and then it does it again and predicts the next token, and it does it again and predicts the next token. So it's taking what the output and almost basically does it over and over again until some stopping criteria is met. So, and see, it's even answering me in German. And I don't even know. Oh, speak English. Okay. Right? So, and this is basically what an LLM is. So, wait. You said after tokenization, is there any pre-processing before sending it through the neural net? No, because the basic, okay, so the tokenization is basically just splitting it apart, right? And then the crucial part is the embedding. And the embedding basically makes, so you could, what you could do now is you have all these tokens. Let's, for simplicity, let's just say we take words, right? You had the word hello, and you could just enumerate it, right? But that's not what you do. You basically place it not, you just not give it one number, you give it a really high dimensional number, like several thousand dimensions. And in this space, every word or every token has a specific meaning. And the good thing is with these with these embeddings that tokens that have similar meaning are also very close in this hyperspace. That's the thing, right? So if you had, for instance, like cat and dog, they would probably be pretty close because they're both small animals, right? So, and what the LLM basically, so one of the crucial parts is that it takes a sentence and it slowly changes the meaning of these things by considering the context around, right? So if I say, I go for a run, run means something different when I would say, I run away, all right? One is the noun, the other one is the verb, right? They're very close, but they're not the same. And basically what exactly it means, you get out of the context of the surrounding tokens. And this is what basically an LLM is really good at with this attention thing that they're doing. So, okay. And basically, and then it just predicts the next token and it does it over and over again. So that's the only thing. Okay. I can't explain everything in detail from the top of my head. Right? So, but this embedding, exactly, the embedding is putting a word or a word part into a really high dimension where it has a meaning no one understands, but the network knows what to do with it. And then the meaning is slowly changed by looking at the context and basically having this correlation with all the surrounding words. And then the network knows what could be a good next word. And that's all that happens. Okay, so this is a basic LLM. Okay, so we can send it a message and it can reply to us. And it just picks the most likely or not the most likely, but a very probable next word, right? And you can kind of adjust these probability, the probabilities that basically how the tokens are selected. But okay, so that goes far too much in depth. So, and then another big step was, okay, so here I just give it a word or a sentence and it answers me, right? Until it's think it's finished, right? So for instance, if I say something like, provide an example sentence in all tenses. Is this tenses? Time forms of the English language. So from all, I go to the store to buy some groceries. Okay, so this, you see how bad how bad this small model is. Let's see what else we got. Let's take a better model. I can't use Gwen because it's really, really big. It's 20 gigs. And I think my OBS will start crying if I do that. But we can use Llama 3.3 latest. Okay, so where was it? So, see? So, I tried that before and it wasn't correct completely. I will have eaten breakfast by the time I arrive at the office. Okay, it was supposed to provide an example for each one and not try to fit it all in one. I was going to meet you yesterday evening, but I forgot to call and eat dinner. And ate dinner? No, eat dinner. Now that I have arrived at my destination, I will check in for the night and then head to the restaurant to have breakfast. Okay, you see how this works. Okay. So now, what they realized is, so yeah, one of the first steps you realize is that an LLM, you need to train it. It takes a long time, and basically by the time you use it, it's outdated, right? It doesn't have the latest news and so on and so forth. So what they realized is that the LLMs need ground truth data, and what they did is what they usually called a RAG. And I'm blanking right now what it means. I can tell you exactly what, and I think a RAG was later. So what they realized is they need tools, right? And a tool is basically something deterministic that the LLM can call, and it gives back the data. And with this data, the LLM provides a nicely written answer. Okay, so for instance, the easiest example is you have something you can check in the database. It returns the data to the LLM, and the LLM just puts it into a nice answer that reads really nice. So there were tools, and I think, so I'm not sure if I got the timeline correct, right? So the next thing they tried to do, or they did, is implement a RAG. And a RAG is called a retrieval augmented generation. So it basically is the same. Retrieval augmented means you have an LLM or an LLM system that can get data from somewhere else that is correct, and then just use it in the answer, right? And I think at kind of the same time, they realized that these one-shot answer and question stuff doesn't work really well. What you want the LLM to do is basically to say, okay, the user asked me that question. I need to reflect on it. What could he mean? What would be a good answer? What details should I include in my answer? So, and by making this basically not a one-shot answer, but first asking the LLM itself to reflect on the question it was asked and make a plan how to answer it, and then follow the plan, the quality improved dramatically. So, and this is kind of what we have nowadays, and there are lots of things that actually exist that I haven't mentioned, right? But basically, what we have here is nothing more than a coding agent that does this iterative, okay, I need a plan. I need to think about what I provide to my user, right? And then has the ability to call different tools to get real answers, right? So, okay, let me demonstrate it. I'm sorry but I can't increase the font size here. That's not going to happen because it's inside this this text user interface. So let's just make a new session, and we go into plan mode. So, and there are different modes, and in plan mode, it can only plan and not execute something, because these models can now also do stuff, right? They can not only write code, they can look through your file system, they can edit, they can copy, that they can use Git commands and so on and so forth. So let's say, can you tell me the current weather conditions in Utah? Question mark. So, and what you see here in a second is basically in gray what the model is thinking, right? So I need to find the current weather in Utah, but I noticed it was misspelled as Utah because I'm dumb. So I'll ask for clarification if needed.
To get the right weather info, it seems like I should fetch data from weather source. I'm considering using vttr.in Utah for this. Let's go ahead and fetch the information. I want to make sure I provide the user with accurate details. That is basically the plan, the internal plan of the model, right? Oh, of the agent, not the model. So, and then it fetches data because it has a tool, web fetch, right, that it can use. So, and then it thinks, I realize I need to give a concise answer while mentioning the statewide average or central Utah. Since Utah is such a large state, it might also be helpful to ask if they mean a specific city, so I can provide a more tailored response. I want to ensure I'm addressing their question correctly and make things as clear as possible for them. Let's explore this to make it helpful. So, and then it tells me that's the answer, that is not in gray anymore. Current conditions for central Utah are sunny, 60 degrees Celsius, and so on and so forth. Utah is large, so conditions vary quite a bit by city. If you want, I can check a specific place like Salt Lake City, and so on and so forth. So, and this is what we use for coding nowadays. So, and you saw that it used this tool WebFetch here to basically get real data from a server or real data from somewhere, in that case, a weather server or something. And that's exactly what I was using with our chat window here. So this chat window is basically an HTML stuff with JavaScript and so on and so forth. And what I have is a tool that is called, I will tell you in a second. It's Chrome DevTools something. Oh, here it is. Chrome DevTools, right? And what I did in the beginning, or can I just scroll up here? Something quick. Okay. So what I did in the beginning is I asked it use Chrome DevTools MCP and open a new browser window that you can debug. And then it opens me a browser window, and it has access to this browser window. So it can read the DOM, and it can execute stuff on there, and it can debug JavaScript and whatnot. Right? And then I basically loaded our chat here, and then I asked, okay, so I loaded this page. I want you to understand the structure of this page, and I want you to explain exactly how to get to the chat messages, to the names of the sender, and so on. So, and I want you to put it into a file that's called specs. And this is the outcome we have here. So that's where we are. Okay, now I can move that over. Don't need that anymore. And for the moment, we don't need that anymore. This can go as well. Okay, so let me see. So high-level structure. The page is a React app mounted at root. Observed messaging message container. Okay. Stable classes observed in the live page. Avoid using JSS classes such as those are styling implementation details and are much more likely to change container semantics. The main message list. Chat messages computed. Display flags, compute flags direction. Okay, important consequences. Visual order is reversed relative to normal column layout. Okay, yeah, I understood that. Newer messages appeared at higher visual positions because of column reverse. Plug-in implications. Treat the DOM order as the truth of source. Do not infer chronology from on-screen Y position. No. Okay, that's clear. If you want newest, okay, preserve DOM order and so on. Message row contract. Each chat row is a message item. Within each message item, use these selectors. Okay. Sender name extraction.
Use sender name. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I will just get some ice and refill my stuff. Important detail from the live DOM. Message sender contains an empty tag leading span child. Okay, the actual visible sender. The mesh code I had back in the day was too slow. So I came, okay, yes, because I wanted to say I also remember that you were working on meshing algorithms in Python, I think, right? And I think the overall goal was to implement it in C later to make it fast, but I'm not sure anymore. Yeah. Well, what does online meshing mean? Online meshing means it can do it on the fly. That each change to match is fully recomputed with very little work. Okay, so basically you can just grab a vertex and move it around and it's remeshed completely. And how was it before? Did you have an incremental or an adaptive system that when you move one thing, then only surrounding children are remeshed? Okay. And So you, okay, so I'm not really sure. Let me think how related it is. So you have heard that they improved the Dijkstra algorithm, right? That they have a faster version now. I think it's not, so it's not improving on the original definition, right? But it can be faster under, yeah, you've seen that. It can be faster under certain circumstances where you don't need all the information. I don't remember. I just read through it. But that's not something you can use, right? The cool thing is I learned recently is the way they do Delaunay triangulations in some systems. So so has this something to do with the Dijkstra or not? Because I remember there was a connection at some point. Oh, okay, so that wasn't finished. So that they, okay, so they add a dimension to the coordinate system pairs and take the higher dimension convex hull. So, but okay, so it's probably too hard to explain that in chat, right? But if you, I mean, if you add a dimension, you just have the result is the Delaunay triangulation. Okay, so but if you just add a add another dimension, how is that better? Because it's basically a flat 3D object in a 4-dimensional space, right? It's like drawing a triangle. Ah, okay, okay. And then it's faster. And it's faster to do that in the higher dimension than to do it in original free space. Oh, okay. So okay. All right. So they're not just doing adding a 0 to as 4th dimension, but they do really okay. Yeah, I know. We needed them also in when you quantify stuff like cells or something, right? Usually you also want to have a convex hull. So even in 2000, I don't know, 10, 9, 8, my then teacher had his own implementation of a convex hull, which was faster. Or I think he probably used an implementation that was faster, that was already there. I'm not sure. So you're saying that there's still progress on that in that area. That is refreshing. Hmm. So I think I don't remember anymore what your overall goal was with the meshing. I remember you showed me quite nice stuff where you had, I don't know, um, some objects and you could mesh them, but I don't remember why exactly. Oh, it's a physics engine. Ah, yes, 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 I do remember. Oh, that's so long ago. I don't even know. Yeah, for finite element analysis. Yes. Yeah, now I remember. As well as the collision detection system of open air. Works with the collapse time of triangle. Okay. Yeah. I remember that we. Oh, it's so long ago. Yeah, you know. Um. Okay, I have to show you. I have to show you. Yeah, because it's really related. So, um. Yeah. So with the kids, usually the kids come and ask lots of questions, and then we're in the middle of something very complicated, and I try to explain it, and so. But I think one thing we did was that they asked how loudspeakers work. And I said, okay, it's that simple. It's really that simple. And then we had this small wire and a magnet, and I put some current through the wire, and the wire moved, right? And then I explained, okay, and then in music, it's just so, and right, and it's not as good when you just explain it. So I did something. I said, okay, I show you how loudspeaker works. We build one. And I said, okay, we take a paper plate. Wait, I can't use my fingers. Bam. A paper plate like this. We make a loudspeaker out of it, right? So I created a coil in the back, and I glued it together. And the first thing we did was give very short shots of current so that they knew, okay. And of course, you need a magnet, and you need to hold it onto it, right? So that, and I only had basically the wires and the magnet, and I said, okay, and you hear this click when we turn on the current, and this is basically how loudspeakers work. And okay, so that was better. And I said, okay, let me find something, and I went to the attic and found an old an amplifier from speakers, from smaller speakers, soldered them together, and then we put in the mobile, and it was really great because it was one of the things they could understand, right? From a moving wire in a magnet field with the Lorentz force, to, okay, so we can push basically the plate up and down. And when we do that, right, we compress air and it arrives at our ears. And this is basically what sound is, right? And if we have music, it's just more complex, but it's the same thing. And we put everything together, and I took my phone and used Spotify, and we played a thing, and it was really funny, right? Because it was a thing that didn't take long, right? We did it in one afternoon, and it was short enough so that the kids did not lose excitement about it. And we were sitting here, right, playing their most loved songs, and they were playing with the magnet, right? And my wife comes in, and my boy says, look mommy, I need to show you, and he show you, look, it's like a loudspeaker. And my wife stands there and looks around. I said, you're kidding me. Where are the loudspeakers? You're kidding me. I said, no, look here. Right? So she needed to really touch the plate and put the magnet on herself to believe us that this is a loudspeaker. And it doesn't sound too bad. It's just a paper plate. It sounds really okay for that. So, and I really have the plan to make exactly that demonstration in the video because it's so good for kids. And I have I never can pronounce it. It's a thing you sit on, and you can use it as a drum. It's a cajon or something like that. And this has a very, very thin layer of wood
and it's really resonant. So I want to use that as basically my final loudspeaker. Yeah, it's lovely. It was really, really great. So, and okay, and back to your meshing. So what wasn't clear to me is how the magnetic field exactly looks like, right? Because what I wanted to have is basically the right magnetic field with the right field lines so that they go perpendicular to my wire, and also in that way so that it really pushes the membrane out, right? So, and I thought, okay, that's easy, right? There must be a simulator for that. So basically, I have several different magnets, right? And one is just a longer one. I said, okay, I have these things. I need to know how exactly the field lines go if I modify it, right? If I put, for instance, an iron coil around it or something, not a coil, an iron core, right? So, and there is nothing easy for simulating magnetic fields that are designed or changed by iron stuff, right? Even if it's a simple geometry. The thing that I found is incredibly hard to use. You need to write complex code I've never seen before in a language I've never seen before to simulate that. So yeah, it's not easy to use. So I found open source simulators, but it was too much. So because in a real loudspeaker, basically you have this, you have a magnet around, right? And they have this iron thing around, and then the coil really goes into it so that you have really, basically when you put current in, that you have really this movement up and down so that the membrane is really moved. And I thought, okay, maybe I can do something similar if I know how the magnetic field is influenced by the stuff I put around, but I gave up. So I'm just using a simple coil and a simple magnet. It's good enough. Also teach him about filtering and how the coil and the magnet cause natural filterings. Yeah, I was thinking about it as well. Not about basically the coil, but I thought, okay, so if you understand how it's not a condenser, it's called, Christ, I'm lacking the word again. The thing that stores energy. How is the English word for that? Capacitor. Christ. The thing is, it's in German, it's a Kondensator, which is condenser, but it's the wrong word. I knew it. Right? If you have a capacitor and you have coil, and so I was always thinking about how to explain electricity to them. And beyond the basics, it's just really hard. Tell me what. So I know what I use, right? So I think the water hose model, where you say, okay, so with the water hose model, you can explain current and you can explain, I'm lacking again the word. Tension? No, it's not tension. Voltage. Spintronics. Let me get this up. Spintronics.
Ooh. Okay, we got a resistor. Okay, I'm not sold already. Let me see again. So, okay, for resistor, they can use a resistor, basically something that doesn't, that breaks a bit. Spintronic electronic, a switch. Okay, so a switch is okay. Mm-hmm. We got here a capacitor. Okay, so I think the capacitor has a spring in it, right? It's loaded when, and then, okay, this is too short. Show me more. What we got here? Okay, so a current meter. An inductor. Okay, so how does the inductor work? Oh, it's too fast. What's that? A transistor. So YouTube is good. The one thing it's lacking is it's usually in English, right? And my kids can't understand English to that degree that they would be interested in watching a YouTube video. And also, I don't want to show them a YouTube video when we have basically time to discuss things. So, so we usually, so yeah, so what is the price tag on these things? They look pricey. Okay, it's not too bad. Act 1 and Act 2. Act 1, Act 2, and Power Pack. Okay, I see. Ah, wait, you don't see anything. You need to set. So I always forget to switch back, right? So okay, give me 1 second. I want to take. So you need to give me 1 second because I want to send that to my better half. Okay, got it. Yeah, and also, I mean, also we have grandparents and so on, right? They also want to gift something. So, and when it's too expensive, we just put together. Because remember, there are there are not just one. There are at least 5 that want something. Yeah, that's great. I'm really okay. No, don't leave it there. So what I usually do is, and what really works for the basic stuff is taking water into a, what is Schlauch? Oh, come on, I don't know. It's not hose. I think hose is it's hose. Tube. Yeah, so if you take basically water in a tube and you really think about it, right? So the current can be really explained to, okay, so how much water is going through the hose or through the tube, right? But you can also kind of explain voltage. And I did that with my wife because she's not interested in electronics. Yes, I think as well, right? And so you can explain voltage and current. You can explain a resistor. I mean, you can kind of explain a capacitor. So, and then I used a file. I know it's not a file, it's probably something else. How this is called. Wrong. My goodness. I don't know. A file. It's a file. Okay, so okay, so the word current comes. I mean, I know that that you also have water currents, right? But yes, yeah. Yeah, and so the broken power unit of the LED strip that I showed you before is basically converting from AC to DC. And my son was asking, and I was showing with it, right? I was basically repairing it with him, and it was, and I was telling him, okay, so see, this is alternating current, and this is DC, and then and he didn't know, of course, right? And I said, okay, so look, basically what we're after in when we look at currents is what they can do, right? And he knows how a basic lamp works. And basically, because I showed him, we used a thin wire and I put a lot of current through it until it started glowing. And then basically he knew, okay, so it goes through, it gets warm because so much current wants to go through. And this is basically, okay, and so we have the same thing here with a file, right? So if you rub it, it gets warm, right? And basically we have the same thing if we just do it like that. And this is how our electricity in the house works, right? And I could show him and stuff, but yeah. There has also been this this thing where they explained logical gates, I think, with water. Do I remember that right? I think it was in YouTube. I'm not sure. Logic gates with water. Yeah, I think I was remembering something like that here. Can we start from the beginning? Okay, so we got an end. We got an or. Wait. Yeah, okay. That's also good. Ah, okay, nice. What was it? Okay, so that's it. So AND or an XOR. Mm-hmm. Nice, nice. Okay. Not 1 meter. We didn't make a meter or a centimeter even. Use message sender. Okay. Fredkin gates. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't ring a bell. Computational circuit suitable for reversible computation. No, never heard of it. Okay, so it's the universal digital logic gate used for reversible logic. The logic is very simple. You have 2 wires going in and the third control wire. Okay, that's what it says here, right? That any logical or arithmetic operation can be constructed entirely of Fredkin gates. The Fredkin gate is a circuit or device with 3 inputs and 3 outputs, with 1 control bit and 2 target bits that transmit the first bit unchanged and swaps the last 2 bits if and only if the first bit is 1. Okay, let's look at the logic table. So the control 0, 0, 0, 0, okay. Okay, it's the same. It's the same. And when it's 1, okay, it's switched. It's switched. It's the same. Okay. Reversible computing. The gate is reversible, meaning that no information is lost during computation. This property aligns with principle of conservative logic, preserving data and reducing energy dissipation. This corresponds nicely to the conservation of mass in physics and helps to show that the model is not wasteful. Okay. Wait, let me catch up on chat. 2 wires into a. If the third control wire is high, it swaps the 2 wires going out, but it doesn't do it here, right? So we have a 1 here. It only swaps if one of the wires is 1. It's easy to build a Fredkin gate out of, say, just billiard balls. Okay, so it doesn't, okay. Okay, I now see. So it doesn't do anything to this input here. It just swaps the input. Now I get it. Okay, of course we don't see it here because it's 0 and we don't see it here. So if the control bit is 1, it just swaps this stuff. Okay, so truth functions and or XOR and not as follows. Okay.
This one seems overcomplicated. Yeah, I agree. Purely based. Okay, so let's see if we find something for the billiard ball stuff because I'm interested. So, but I did get this right. With the Fredkin gate, I can represent all other gates. So if you have one of these or more of these, but if you have understood the Fredkin gate, you can basically understand all other things. Did I get this right? Okay, let me see. YouTube. Billiard red gate. Okay, I found only that one here. Okay, so where's the control stuff? Oh, introducing. Okay, introduction. End gate with billiard balls. Okay, so I didn't even read. I'm sorry. Fredkin Toffoli's billiard ball model. Looks good, but we don't have the control gate. So this is just an end with billiard balls. Okay, I see. The delay gate. Okay. Okay, but the Fredkin gate is something different, right? So it's okay. So one way to see the Fredkin gate is universal is to observe that it can be used to implement and, not, and or. Okay. Okay, so if input 2 is 0, then output 2 is control gate and input gate 1. Okay, see. Feynman lectures in computation. Oh, no, I think I know that there are the Feynman lectures for physics stuff.
me check that out. Okay, I found it. I didn't know he did something like that. Yeah, it's separate from the Feynman lectures. Yeah, Feynman did also a lot of drinking and gambling stuff. He was really nice because he didn't, I don't know, he did a lot of, if he was bored with something, right, he did something else. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I think I read that or saw that somewhere. He had crazy interests. And what I really liked is, I mean, obviously he was um a brilliant physicist, right? But he could also explain stuff. Let me put that on my list. I think I got a list somewhere. Yeah. What the heck is on my development list? I can't show it. It's a lot of kid stuff. Someone um took over my book list. No. It's good. It's not cheap, definitely not. So the hardcover is $200 on Amazon. Yeah. I think it's like that, right? And then people try to sell theirs for a good margin. So Fred Gate. Let's. Oh, I think there's also a soft cover version that's only 50 or something. Redkin Gate in the Marble Run model. Okay, so maybe. Wait, what? So, but I think that's reversed, is it?
I thought when control is on, then these twos are switched, and not when control is off. Yeah. Okay. By the way, what's going on in the US with the petrol prices? Do you have to so what I know is that in the US you have very long ways compared to here in Germany. So even if you're not basically traveling or something, right, you usually have to go far longer distances than we have to go here. Yeah, I think it's not actually it's surprisingly unbad at the moment, and I'm not sure why. So wait. We got this here. So and all the other stuff is crazy as well. So if you look on the S&P 500, it's just ridiculous. So war going on, and it's I don't even know what to say. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks, and it's up almost 20%. The thing is, right, why is the market up so much? So if we look at Brent spot prices, it's crazy. I mean, just at the beginning of the year, we were at $60. Now we're at 108. And I'm pretty sure. So purely from the perspective of what this looks like, right? We have a closing triangle. We have a top here, a pretty flat one. And then we have a closing triangle here. But who knows, because the market doesn't do anything that's, I don't understand it anyway. I'm not sure, right? So we can check that. I think our prices are not really that bad. Let's see. Germany. Let's close that down. Where's the other thing? Let's use that browser window. So German. Let me type that in German. Benzinpreise chart. So yeah. Okay, so there, yeah, that is pretty. So we started out roughly by 170. So in December, right? So we had a bigger jump here, but it was never really very much below 170. So you see here's 160 here. So we're in 165. Yes, per liter. We can do the the calculations in your units soon. So US. The thing is, what is super in the US? I don't know.
Let's check. I don't know. Super bleifrei. Premium unleaded. Super. No, that's super. Yeah, we got a currency conversation. So what is the petrol called that you put into cars that is unleaded and is it premium unleaded? Yes, the 92 octane. That is super here, I think. And this is called just petrol, or is it something else? Okay, okay. So we need to find it out as well. So, wie viel how is it? Oktan hat super. So we got a 95. So this is what I put into my car. That here. Yeah, I got a fast car. I mean, I need the good stuff. No. Okay, so it's not okay, so we have that. Wie viel Oktan hat, wait, Normalbenzin. So even our normal one, you don't get it doesn't get any more worse than that, I think. Has 91. Okay, so and how do I search for okay, so US petrol price. So in California, it's at 6.15, and the average seems to be 4.5, right? Of $4.53. It's a lot cheaper. Okay, let's do the calculation for the 450 first. Okay, so maybe Google can do that. So $450 per, and it's called barrels in your country, right? In euro per liter. What? No, that's not right. That can't be. Okay, so Christ. Okay. First, liter. No. We want barrel. A gallon. Okay, so no, not barrel. Okay. Gallon in liter. It should be more. It's 3.7. Okay. So. Oh, so and we want $450 per gallon in euro per liter. Sounds about right? That is crazy cheap. But remember, it's never been that cheap for us. We can go back here. See, this is the last 5 years. So we're always paying much, much more. Actually, before this, right, it was pretty cheap compared to the last, I don't know, 4 years. Yeah. And the taxes are, you're right, the taxes are incredible. I don't know how much tax we got.
So it's 65 cent per liter. And if there's over 3 liters in a gallon, right, it would be maybe roughly €2, just the tax. Ah, it's crazy. I don't drive that much. How much tax do you got? But I think, yeah, a part of us. Okay, so yeah, I completely agree, right? So you need to have better sources anyway because you need so much oil and petrol. So what's the tax in in the US? US tax on petrol, 18 cents per gallon, and this is US cents, not. It depends on the state. Okay. What state are you living in? In Texas. You mentioned that before. Sorry, I'm dumb. And I can't spell Texas. Combined of. Okay, so that is really nothing. We pay 60 per liter, and you pay not even 40 per gallon. And 40 of the cheap cents, not the the expensive euro cents. Texas state motor fuel tax. But I think the state, right? So if I got that right, basically in the US, each state takes a portion of the tax, or right, and it's used for repairing the streets and stuff. Yeah, yeah, I see. That's really so. And wasn't it like that? Your president decided that they wanna skip the tax for the next few whatever. Wasn't that in the talks? I don't know. I think I remember something like that. Because what I saw, I don't think they did that for fuel, but could be wrong. Okay, what do we search for? U.S. tax breaks on fuel in Texas. So no. That's not. I think it's news. I don't want to. No, no, no. Proposed tax holidays. What it is? Due to fluctuating energy prices, there are active bipartisan, whatever that word means, pushes by Texas leaders, including state lawmakers and federal figures, to temporarily suspend both the 18.4-cent federal gas tax and the 20-cent state motor fuel tax to provide relief at the pump. This is currently legislative and campaign proposals. As of mid 2026, no official temporary gas tax holiday has been. Okay, so but that's what I saw, and I think the news source where I saw that was instantly saying, okay, so then none of our streets get repaired anymore.
I think I like my OBS stuff. Took so long for setting this up, but now I got even this. I can just click it on. Ning, ning. What else do I got? Ooh, I got a incognito mode. So yeah, but I can tell you, yeah, I played with shaders at one point, but I only used it. You remember, I only played with it on the site. But my friend, I'm blanking the name. No, I'm not blanking the name. YouTube, finite singularity. This one. He is lovely, and he hacks all these OBS effects. And one of them is basically that you have just blurring of different kinds, right? So you have this hexagonal stuff here. And the moving stuff is something different, so that I can move it like this. That's another filter. But finite singularity basically does a lot of the stuff of effects like blurring and marking and stuff, and he develops that live on stream. Wait, I can make some advertisement because I think he's really, really calm and friendly, and I like to watch him. And I can't spell. Here, go. Where is my chat? Somewhere here is my chat. There you go. So if I'm not online and you catch him, he's really cool. I like him. I like him a lot. Okay, now it's 4 o'clock in the morning, so I will turn off the stream. Next time, how do we handle the situation? Wait, yeah, let's see. What else do I watch? Let me check my Twitch stuff. So I try to get inspiration from different people. I have one streamer. I'm not sure why I like her. She has such a let me search for a different word. No, I'm only so anyway, I like her. That's just advertisement. Well, wait. And she is usually doing graphics design and drawing and stuff. But she's I don't know how to say it without sounding that without sounding mean. But I'm not sure if she's still drawing on screen anymore. And yes, she looks crazy, but my daughter has also these the horns for her headset and stuff. So, and she can really draw really nice. And I don't even remember how I found her, but I think she popped out on YouTube, and I just checked her up. So I watched her, and the thing is, on on software and programming, there are not too many. So yeah, no, there are some. So Red Cabin Games is also one I like. He was working for a real game studio, and he's working on an indie game now, and it's really absolutely stunning graphics. I think we don't need the volume. It looks really great, and he's doing it solo. And I think I will never understand Twitch. So where can I get to his profile? Red Cabin Games. No, we can check L colon Q in a second. So I like him because the graphics of the game is really stunning. And then I watched where he worked before, and he has 7 years at EA Dice. So he worked on Battlefield and Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042 and so on. So no wonder he's really good. So that's the one I'm watching, and there is one other that I sometimes like to watch. I can find him. Do you remember when I mistakenly thought you were sovereign deaf? Oh, here you are. You're offline. Darn, I don't find him. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's check out. So you said where is it? This one? Yeah, I know him. It's the one with the yes, with the ASCII art stuff. I watched his streams quite a bit. The reason is that I believe some people can just talk and you enjoy listening to them. This is one of the persons that I really enjoy. He has a kind of calming voice, and yeah. So I don't really know what he's doing because I think his content is not what I basically would watch, but I enjoyed watching and listening to him. So let's look on this one. No, this is someone I've never seen before. When are they online? Okay, let's give it a follow. That's weird. It must be completely different times then.
Nice. Okay, looks good. There's another one who doesn't talk too much, but um, he's working on quite a bit of um, physics and simulation stuff as well. It doesn't have any videos, but I think website. Yeah, let me post it here. But he's definitely more online in the European time zone. So, and he has lots of stuff I think you should be interested in, because so do we have some videos here? Maybe this one? And as far as I remember, his stuff is completely written from scratch. So there is nothing in it that uses a gaming engine or something. It's written from scratch. Yeah. Yeah. He does this kind of stuff. And I think overall, he's also a game developer who works on games, but the majority of his work is with the details, with collision detection, path finding stuff, facts, and so on. Yeah, I mean, so for my enjoyment, I watch quite a bit of Fortnite streamers. I have one that I like who's really chill, but it's just for having something in the back and not sit in complete silence. So it's nothing that I watch for learning something. I do watch it for learning something because I need to play Fortnite pretty good. But yeah. And then I don't know. There are some things here. So Thieves is Fortnite. Flimsy is probably, I would say, too young and too hectic for you. It's the newer generation, very fast paced. But he did a lot of stuff around Minecraft. I think he tried to implement Fortnite in Minecraft. Yeah, but so that's the thing I can show you. So overall, I have the impression that Twitch is really going down, and not only Twitch, the whole streaming stuff. And I understand it. I mean, it has it high. It had its heights in probably during COVID, when everyone was sitting home. But let me check my history, because I got this. So wait. Let's see. Yeah, there is this page. Wait, I got it in
10 seconds. I think it's that one. And it shows basically user trends. And so you see it goes down. So this is average peak daily channels. So it's going down drastically. And it seems to rise up again. I'm not sure why, maybe because of the new season. So this is Fortnite, but we can also check out software. No. Not channels, teams. How's this? Game and how is it called? I don't even know. Isn't it game and software development? Software and game development. Software and game development. So there you go. It seems to be in an upswing again, but I think true peak here, I don't know. It feels, I mean, it tanked definitely in March, and now it seems to be up again a bit. I'm not sure. So hours watched is down. I'm not sure from where, if that's really, is that the past days? Yeah, it seems so. Here it says hours watched is down 30%, right? Average viewers is down 30%. So this is the last year. I clicked 360 days because that seems to be the most I can available ranges. Maybe I can go full here. Come on, verify me. I'm not a bot. Okay, so there's no data here. So from September 21. So it's only, okay, so, okay. Available ranges. How did it look here? It wasn't better. Or am I dreaming? 5K, around 5K. No, we're 2026 again. I wanted 2024. See, 2024, we were at 10K. 2023? Okay, in 2023, it seems to, yeah, really take off. And basically, yeah, it's probably better visible here, right? So we were coming down from roughly, I don't know, 7,500 to not much. Maybe 2,000. I don't know. Maybe it's seasonal. But when I check out the people who stream, I don't know. And compared to anything else, you can't make. If you look right here, so the first row has over 30 viewers, and then it's constantly below 30 viewers. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channels, right? And everyone else has basically 1 viewer, 4 viewers, 5 viewers. So in the third row, we're down to 10 viewers, basically. No, 13. Okay. I don't know. So right now, I'm streaming on Twitch, on YouTube, and on X. I can also do somewhere else, but it's maybe I don't even want that many viewers, right? But let's say we had 10 people who would constantly talk, and right, would you really do something? So I usually use it, so just turn it on, do my stuff, try things out, and it keeps me from doing something else and just working on that thing here. So, and if there were 10 viewers who would constantly ask questions, I mean, it's okay. Then it would be okay as well, I guess, right? Then you could do it for the community, and if they ask questions, so I mean, we're discussing stuff throughout the board, right? But if people really ask questions about the stuff I'm doing, then I don't know. I really don't know. But if you look at other things like just chatting here, 350 people, Fortnite, 570 people. So, and the only ones who have this are the people who really do streaming and making YouTube content professionally. And yeah. Yeah, that's correct. So if there are, I don't know, 100 people and everyone would basically write as much as we are writing right now, or basically talking, then it would be a complete mess. Right? But that doesn't happen usually. It's much more relaxed when you have 100 or 500 viewers. Okay, so Theo is not even online anymore. Who else we got? Look, it's C. But I think it's not real C because I saw someone define a variable in a for loop. So it's whatever. C98. I'm not sure again. I'm not sure anymore when it was allowed to define variables wherever you want. Modern C99 does it, yeah. No, roughly 25, no, 27 years ago. 27 years. Since I'm 25, it's older than I am, basically. Yeah. So it's really hard to find. So from the software and game development community, I'm not sure I watch too many streamers anymore because it's just hard to find people that are doing something outside of the game development stuff, and do something that I would like watching. I think this dude is nice. I saw him yesterday. I think he has this effect that
on a real, how's it called, CCT TV? Yeah, me too. Right. So yeah, exactly. It's the same. So I wouldn't say it's that game development is boring, but it usually, right, what they do is they use a big engine like Unity or Unreal or whatever, and it's a lot of patching stuff together from the UI, from the game engine, and then a bit of coding and lots of testing. And I'm not sure how, yeah, it's not too interesting for me. Godot is really nice, right? But then again, a lot of game development consists of doing graphic stuff, doing frame animations, right? Yeah, Solar definitely does lots of coding. Yeah, so I think what what annoys me the most is that most games that are developed have these the key ingredients that every game has, right? So you have a character somewhere, and then you have a um, then you have the basically the arena where the game is, and usually it's something with you walk around and do something, or you drive a car and go around. So, for instance, what I rarely see is that someone takes a board game, a hard one, and writes um, an AI for it. Not an AI, but an AI that basically plays the game by traversing the game tree and doing searches, right? So where not the focus is not on the game and the graphics and how awesome it looks, but more on the the technique behind it and the programming. I think if someone would do that, I would definitely watch it. And when you look through here, so this is the guy who does the the Linux, I think, chat client, Pigeon. So then we have Godot. Let's just open some of them. What we got here? Okay, we got advertisement. So we wait. Mm, what's your favorite indie game? So we're done yet? No. Does it stop when I leave the tab? It does stop. Christ, I can't even. I have to watch the advertisement. Yeah. See, it's a lot of sculpting and putting the models together, and nah, not for me. So what is that? Is that Godot or is it Game Maker or can't read anything? I don't know.
What? How often am I supposed to get advertisement? You ran into a female who was implementing a heat algorithm. That was interesting. I think I recognize at least Unreal and Unity. I can't differentiate them, but I think I see. So this, for instance, looks like, oh, I don't know. That looks like Godot. Yeah. So this looks like Blender from the thumbnail. Yep, it is. Okay. Don't know. One-year older man types on Monday. But it's not Monday, is it? It's already Tuesday. So that looks like Rust to me. Is it? I think it is. Oh no, it's not Rust, it's J. J is one an not unknown, but a programming language that is actively developed by Jason Blow, not Jason, Jonathan Blow. I think I have him also in my, yeah. Holy guacamole. Why? Why does Jonathan annoy you? I mean, he's pretty anti everything. And he's not short on expressing his opinion. Yeah. I think I haven't paid too much attention to his politics or his political opinions. But I guess he's, I'm not sure. I don't know. So, and yeah, I didn't want to say it, but I got the feeling that he is. Oh, your words will be burned into my video and will be available forever. I mean, so there is so much going wrong, and let's say it's surprising that people who are obviously intelligent don't see that something is wrong. Let's keep it like that.
I always wonder what this one is doing, right? He's online very often. He's working on I think what is a UI framework called CA2. I think he's working on it on all three operating systems. So he's implementing it for Linux, for macOS, and for the. So Severin, the thing is, I know a few people from overseas, right? And all of them I consider, you can talk to them and they have a reasonable opinion, right? And then you see the news and I think to myself, okay, never ever in my life will I get onto a plane and fly over there. Never. Right? And this is completely, I just can't solve that in my head, right? That all the people I know that I talk to are completely reasonable. And it doesn't mean that we have to agree on everything, right? But and then you see the news and it seems like your country is not a place I would ever visit. Ooh, live coding a self-aware AI. Oh, that's for us. Oh, what's not? Nothing is happening. Neural overload. Is FIFA still happening in the US? Is it? I heard that they wanted to. I don't know. I read too many news. Is FIFA still happening in the US? Okay, seems like it is. FIFA Peace Prize. Crazy. Okay, I will turn the stream off now and we'll slowly go into the direction of my bed. Unfortunate, but yeah. So have a great evening or night. I think Texas should be. Texas is maybe 6 hours ahead, maybe 8. Local time, Texas. Maybe you have several time zones. Yeah, 9:30. Okay. Have a great evening. See you next time. Maybe you join in 1 hour later so that I can have 1 hour of work and then we can talk about whatever. No, honestly, have a great evening. It was really, really nice to have you here and not being alone. Awesome. See you next time. Bye bye.